Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwantner and welcome to Selling Power TV. Today we have the pleasure of meeting with Jordan Clark. He's Vice President of Sales with Las Vegas. Welcome, Jordan.
Welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
Can you name all 9 properties that are in your company?
Absolutely. Certainly Caesar's Palace, Paris, Bally's, Flamingo, Harrah's, Imperial Palace, Rio, Planet Hollywood, and PH Westgate.
Awesome. How many salespeople do you have?
About 60.
So you have recently gone through a transformation of your sales organization. Can you explain what caused it?
Sure. Well, I think as the leader of an organization, it's your responsibility and duty to look out as turbulent waters are coming forward as you navigate the shift, and where are you going? A lot of our competitors were starting to do some pretty crazy things that we noticed in our impression really hadn't worked that well in the past. So really had to take a long, hard think about how we were going to go ahead and navigate our ship through the waters. And we decided that ship was best navigated by sticking to the basics and not forgetting what we already know. We think that if there was one of those really fabulous ideas out there, that we probably would have implemented it years ago. And we thought it was really a great time for us to go ahead and focus on the basics, in which we consider to be 3 areas, which was training, motivation of the team, and upgrading our talent.
So out of those 60 salespeople, what were the biggest challenges that they were facing because of the economy?
I think the fear of the unknown was the single biggest challenge.
Did the economy affect their skills negatively?
I think it affected their confidence level in their skills,
right.
And that was the primary reason for focusing on the training aspect of it,
right.
For example.
So who is the primary buyer for your product?
The meeting planner in most organizations will be the person that we mostly work with. However, the decisions are often driven from the C-suite. One of the the second largest challenges that we had through our organization was the decision-making process became quite extenuated. A lot more people wanted to get involved in that decision-making process, and not everyone on the customer side was aware of what their new parameters were.
Right.
So it took an awful lot longer to close the sale.
So how did you plan that transformation?
Well, I think we had to decide, once again, as we had done many times in our organizations, that we can't be all things to all people, and then we need to pick the things that we were going to stick with. So sticking with the core values of what we decided to be to our customer, and really trying to emphasize that one of the things that's carried us through the years is to simply ask our customer what they want and give it to them. And while that seemed very simple, I think a lot of our competitors decided that the sales process needed to change, and I don't think that the sales process needed to change. I think that the customer's needs were changing, and as long as we continue to focus deeply on how to uncover those needs and then therefore go ahead and meet them, that we would do okay in the marketplace.
So you went to the customer and learned what?
We learned that their needs changed on a day-to-day basis, and that we started capturing business that our competitors would lose because we were simply listening to what they wanted and giving it to them. A lot of times our customers weren't quite sure what they wanted, and we had to help them through that. But because of the flexibility of the organization and the ability of the salesperson to have the autonomy to make the decisions, to say okay, and to go ahead and contract that in a very, very timely fashion, the customers really felt secure that we could help them meet their needs.
Yeah, it's really interesting what I hear here, that your salespeople not only had to sell a solution, but they had to sell the customer on making a decision.
Correct, absolutely.
Jordan, I heard you earlier say something about motivation. Why was that a factor to you?
I truly believe that people are not motivated, that they motivate themselves, but you really have to provide them the tools in which they can utilize to do so. So a couple of the things that we decided very early on, which was quite a bit different also from our competitors, was to make sure that we were transparent. We were honest about the business. We were honest about the challenges that were forthcoming, that we could see. We were honest about the fact that we couldn't see all the challenges, and we don't know all the answers, but we'll work on them together. We decided early on that the last team that we needed to cut salaries was the sales team.
So what were the results of the transformation?
Well, interestingly enough, in the year 2009, we booked as many room nights as we did in our best year ever in our entire business of 2007. Now, naturally, the revenue streams quite a bit depleted from what we experienced in 2007, but that was really the only consistent measure that we could find was the number of room nights that were booked. So I know the sales team worked harder for it and what have you, but they achieved just truly amazing results.
Who was the partner in your transformation process?
So we chose Richardson, and we felt that the depth of resources they provide could really help us step up our game in the sales process.
Well, thank you for sharing your story. I really enjoyed that, and I hope that in this year you'll hit the jackpot.
Great. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Take care.